From Washington, this is VOA News. I'm Steve Miller reporting. Britain has raised its terrorism alert to critical, which is the highest level, and soldiers are being deployed to assist armed police. Prime Minister Theresa May called the attack at an Ariana Grande concert that killed 22 people cowardly. She said members of the military will be deployed along with police at what she calls big events. These include football or soccer matches and concerts. But as VOA's Henry Ridgwell explains, investigators are still trying to answer difficult questions.
How was the attacker able to get into the venue amid tight security? And was he acting alone? Or is the bombmaker still at large?
Police have identified the suicide bomber as 22-year-old Salman Abedi, but have given no further information about him. Dan Coates, President Donald Trump's intelligence chief, declined to comment Tuesday on media reports that the president pressured him to publicly deny that evidence existed of collusion between the Trump campaign and Russia to influence the 2016 U.S. presidential race. However, former CIA Director John Brennan said the evidence of Russian interference was clear.
It should be clear to everyone that Russia brazenly interfered in our 2016 presidential election process, and that they undertook these activities despite our strong protests and explicit warning that they not do so.
Brennan stressed that he could not say whether the Trump campaign colluded with Russian interests, only that there had been contact between the two. The chief of Venezuela's Electoral Council says it will hold regional elections in December. Anti-government demonstrators have been calling for early presidential elections in light of the nation's triple-digit inflation, rising crime, and fast food shortages. This is VOA. U.S. President Donald Trump on Tuesday declared that both the Israeli and Palestinian leaders are ready to reach for peace.
I am committed to trying to achieve a peace agreement between the Israelis and the Palestinians, and I intend to do everything I can to help them achieve that goal.
Trump made the remark alongside Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at a speech at the Israel Museum. Trump has held talks with Netanyahu on Monday and then again on Tuesday after a brief visit to the West Bank for a one-hour discussion with Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas. There was no specific mention of in any of Trump's remarks in Israel to occupation or a two-state solution, a pair of major sticking points for the Palestinians. The status of Jerusalem, with both Israelis and Palestinians claim as their capitals, is also a major complication. North Korea's May 21st ballistic launch was Pyongyang's 10th this year. It was strongly condemned by the UN Security Council. Speaking at the UN on Tuesday, Japan's UN ambassador said North Korea's goals remain clear.
North Korea is acting in triumphant and emboldened manner by this most recent launch, and is now clearly demonstrating that it is determined to further bolster its nuclear buildup.
China called for the full implementation of existing Security Council resolutions on North Korea. The Council released a statement pledging to take further significant measures, including sanctions, in line with the Council's previously expressed determination. Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte has declared martial law in the southern province of Mindanao. The decision was made after fighting between Philippine troops and militants in the hunt for the Philippine head of the Islamic State group in the area. Isnilon Hapilon is the country's most wanted man, with a $5 million bounty placed on his head by the United States for alleged terrorist acts against American citizens. The Philippine military on Tuesday launched a raid on a house in Marawi City where the IS leader was believed to be recuperating from wounds sustained from a previous clash. At least 3 soldiers and a police officer have been killed and 12 others wounded. On Wednesday, Myanmar's leader Aung San Suu Kyi will open the Union Peace Conference. The talks will include 3 previously barred rebel groups and aims to end fighting that has been taking place in the country since its 1948 independence from Britain. 7 ethnic rebel groups, who have yet to sign a ceasefire deal with the government, say they are planning to attend the conference. In Washington, I'm Steve Miller.
That's the latest world news from VOA.